We live?
Hi guys, we are live.
Hi everyone. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Shabbat Shalom,
Shabbat
everyone.
Shalom.
We see it's already a very active chat today.
Which is so exciting. That's kind of amazing. And it's so nice to see everyone.
It's nice. Ed. Hi Ed. Hi Justin. Hi Lynn.
Hi Lynn. Hi Ting.
Hi everyone.
So glad that everyone was able to make it. We have everyone today. We have Ed and David. And Justin and Ting and Lynn and everyone. So that's so exciting. Hope everyone is doing really, really well. Hi, guys.
And Jenny. Hi Jenny.
Hi, Jenny.
Sorry we're a couple minutes late.
Yeah, and Justin, congratulations. I literally just skimmed through and I read that you guys are in the process of adoption. That's amazing.
Very, very exciting.
Yeah, we're just about to start that chapter ourselves. So that's so exciting.
Yeah.
Really cool. Congratulations.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And Justin, also, thank you for sending us over the email.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, that was huge. Thank you.
Yes. Share that with everybody. You can share it in the comment section. Sometimes the live chat goes away, so put it in the comment section, the link to the video, so everybody can check that out.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, well, let's get into it today. But before we get into it, we have a couple of announcements. First of all, happy Thanksgiving. I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, you guys.
So, I hope you guys all enjoyed it, however and whatever you guys did. And also, too, for everyone who signed up for the newsletter, hope you guys are finding those fun. And if you haven't signed up for the newsletter, make sure to go ahead and do that at houseofdemaj.com/stay up to date.
Yeah, especially if you guys want to be a part of the Zoom meeting that we're going to do. We're going to do a huge Zoom group chat, which we are so excited about. Finally to see everyone. It's going to be so much fun. So much fun.
So exciting.
So if you guys want to go and be a part of it, sign up.
Yep.
And also let us know what time works for you. We have a questionnaire where you just choose from a time slot and let us know when's the best time.
Yeah, we actually sent that out, was it yesterday or the day before? And everybody's already submitting their answers on when they want the best time, the best date. So we will do that. Also, too, for those who haven't seen the newsletter in your email, sometimes it's sent to junk mail or spam or promotion. So if you sign up for the newsletter but you're not actually getting it or seeing it, check your promotion, your spam, your junk mail, whatever.
Oh, definitely.
It could be, I think Google sends it over to promotion, your promotion inbox.
Yeah, so Ed is asking where this questionnaire is.
So, Ed, we sent out a Zoom newsletter yesterday or the day before. And in the newsletter, there's a button that you click on, and then it will send you over to the survey to, well, it's not really a survey, it's just pick your best time,
Pick your best time,
best date.
I think we gave an option of 4.
Yeah, I think it was at the 13th, 14th, 15th, I believe, of December. Yeah, between 4 and 5.
So let us know which one of these works best for you. Lynn is saying she didn't get any newsletter. So Lynn, check your junk or spam folder. Maybe it went there.
Yeah, Lynn, if you signed up for the newsletter, you should be receiving it. If not, check your promotion box is usually where it's sent to.
Yeah. Hi, Elizabeth. Hi. So glad you were able to join us.
Hi, Elizabeth.
Yeah.
And then also, too, regarding other updates, we have some exciting news for Hanukkah.
Yes.
Very exciting news.
And before we do, David, you to sign up, you can go to houseofdemaj /
houseofdemaj.com/stay up to date. It's also in the description box and the comment section of this live.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
So you could check
description
it.
box. There we go.
All you do is just type in your email and we'll send you over a newsletter.
Yeah.
Hanukkah.
Hanukkah. Yes. Okay, guys, so we are actually thinking of doing something that we haven't done before. It's going to take a lot from us to do it.
Yes.
And we're wondering if it's something that you guys would be interested in. But we were actually thinking of going live all 8 days of Hanukkah.
Yes.
It would be a really short live. It wouldn't be like, 2 or 3 hours the way we normally do it on Fridays. It would be maybe like half hour to an hour every day for 8 days. And every day we would talk about something that has to do with like Hanukkah, about the holiday. We would play some games, eat some latkes, do all the stuff that you normally do for Hanukkah, but just live. And if you guys are into it, and I see Justin is, which is super exciting, let us know so we know whether we should do it or not.
It's on your birthday this year. Well,
happy
early birthday, Justin.
How cool. Wow.
So we will, for everybody who signed up for a newsletter, you guys will get the Hanukkah newsletter, and and then on there, and then you can interact with it and let us know what you guys think.
Absolutely. How is everyone doing with their allergies? I am just
I am too.
Watering from all of my orifices. Oh, there we go.
Tissues.
Oh, I love it. Justin put up a menorah this year too. Oh, this is so exciting. My grandparents, we have this menorah that's been passed down generations and generations. And when I was like 8 or something, or 9, I asked my grandparents to leave me this like beautiful menorah that they've had that's literally, it's at this point, it's like 150 years old.
Yeah.
And they did. And so every year, it's the most exciting thing. It barely holds up, but it's so beautiful. I use it all the time, and it's this family tradition. I had it, in the family for 150 years. So very exciting to light the candles with you guys.
So we're thinking of doing a Hanukkah thing, all 8 days, going live, all 8 days. So if you're signed up to the newsletter, you guys will be getting a Hanukkah update on that. And also to a New Year's update as well. So those will be coming out. And I think that's it for the updates.
Yes, and hi Famicom Mike. Thank you for joining us. Very exciting. And I love that your holiday's next month. Well, we should celebrate that together again. Yeah.
Okay, so are those all the updates?
I think those are all the updates.
Okay, so this is going to be my first time. I have to participate in this. All updates.
Yay!
Toss the paper. I had to do it.
I love it. So Ed and Ting and Lynn are all like, toss it, yay! So we have so much to cover today. So much to cover today.
We have a lot to cover.
We have a lot of tea to spill. So I think in order for us to spill the tea, we should probably drink some tea.
Some tea.
What do you guys think? This is... there we go.
All right.
Funny enough, this tea kettle has been in our family for a very long time. This is good. Thank you. And absolutely love it. So this was kind of like a celebratory reason to get it out. So exciting.
Okay. Can you pour me some?
Yeah. Are you ready? And I think Mike says he found us from your walk away video.
Oh, hi, Mike.
Which is just amazing how many
Cheers
people
to you, Mike.
found us through that. Yeah.
So
tea is good for allergies. That's right, yeah. We actually try to drink so much tea, and it usually helps, except when we do drag. We don't drink as much, and so hence all of the leaking everywhere. Oh, I love it. Justin says, I love the teapot. Looks straight from Downton Abbey. I love it. Yeah. That's awesome. Okay. A little bit of tea.
Cheers, guys. And if you have your snacks or your drinks or your smoothies, cheers.
Cheers.
To another live. We have a lot to talk about today.
Yay. David says he's getting an error on our site.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. And Ting, we would love that. We would love some green tea from China. Absolutely. Thank you. That would be awesome.
On our website, David, try typing in houseofdemaj.com/stay up to date. Stay up to date.
There we go. Hopefully that'll help.
Hopefully it will work.
Yeah.
And
got
David
it.
got
Sweet.
it.
Okay,
no
good.
errors. Perfect. All right, David.
Okay, so where should we start? First of all, we got an email from Justin today asking us to talk about this, and that is the video that is literally, I think at this point, been watched around the world of the, 4 boxes or suitcases that were found under the table. Did you guys see that video? I mean, I think at this point, pretty much almost everyone has seen that, especially conservatives.
In Georgia,
In Georgia, which is just really amazing because if you think about it, there's an actual video of voter fraud happening. If you guys don't know what it is in Georgia, in one of the polling places, the observers were told that they're down counting for the day and that they should go home. Everyone left, and as soon as they left, one of the people counting the votes basically got these 4 massive boxes from under the table that they were hiding.
Yeah. Boxes,
and all of a sudden,
suitcases,
all of these votes, started coming in. And again, when these votes are starting to come in, it's 99.4%, Joe Biden, and not Trump. And that is obviously a problem. Now, in a state like Georgia, where the vote tally is relatively small, I think at this point it's 12,000 votes. 14,000. It's a relatively small number. This could make a difference because I think each box holds about 6,000 votes potentially. So you're looking at 24,000 votes that all went for Biden, right? 99+ % all went to Biden that were just mysteriously found under the table when everyone was told to go. The crazy thing is when you post about it on Twitter, when you type about it, when you talk about it on YouTube, Google, or Facebook, or literally anything, immediately you get a thing that says, this is fake news.
Yep.
It's
fact-checked
automatically. And again, it's crazy because the video exists.
Well, Ginny
it's
was
right there
saying
in video.
how crazy it is. And the fact-checking.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. I think what it is too is what they're doing is they're playing with semantics. I don't know if these are boxes or suitcase, but basically, Justin, you sent us a video that we listened to today. It was great.
Yeah.
But basically what they're talking about is the fact that these are potentially boxes, but Republicans said that suitcases were found. So they're like, well, there were no suitcases found, therefore it's false. That is BS. I mean, that's complete bull. It's absolutely outrageous and absolutely ridiculous to say that just because these are boxes and
that's some tea right there.
That's right? I mean, cheers. Right, just because it's boxes and not suitcases, or suitcases instead of boxes, or whatever. And I think this is what it comes down to. And what's happening now is that you have the majority of the country that does not believe that voter fraud happen in large enough quantities to change the outcome of the election. In fact, most Republicans don't think that voter fraud happened in large quantities enough to change the election. At least official Republicans. I think most Republican citizens do think that there was voter fraud enough to change the outcome. But even officials are saying it's probably not enough to change the outcome. I don't know. What I do know is that it's very possible that these outcomes might be changed in Georgia, for example. Is that going to change the outcome of the election? Absolutely not. But is that something that we should pursue all the way to the end? Because what I'm seeing is, and this is something that I've been following now, for the past, I would say 3 elections, really 4 elections, but 3 closely. The past 3 elections, there seems to be conversations about voter fraud on a regular basis. The difference is that each election cycle...
Hi, Cher!
Hi, Cher! Yay! So glad you were able to join us.
And Famicom Mike and...
Famicom...
Mike already, and...
Salamander Man? Wow. I love it. I love what there's... The most powerful weapon on earth is the human soul on fire. I love that. And Christopher Guntel, hi! I love that the media keeps saying no widespread fraud. If it's spread at all, it is a serious problem. Exactly! I completely agree, and that is the problem. Because what's happening is literally election cycle to election cycle to election cycle, we're seeing larger and larger voter fraud cases happening on a regular basis. And I don't know if you guys remember, but 4 years ago, there was a woman in Florida. She was arrested. I forget her name, but basically she was responsible for the vote counts in a specific county in Florida, and basically she stuffed 3,000 ballots. You know, in favor of Hillary Clinton. That was found out. She was, I think she was arrested at some point, and then she was released. At the end of the day, nothing really happened to her. Again, bureaucracy. And because, you know, Democrats had the control at the time having to handle this. It was absolutely insane. But my point was 3,000 votes just in Florida alone. Now, if you think about it, 2000, you know, Florida was decided by less than 500 votes. So, you know, that is a major problem. And if you're looking at these numbers, if you're looking at, you know, Georgia, where the margin is so small, it really makes a difference. And if Republicans are not going to stand up now and do something about it, they're going to have serious problems in future elections, because Democrats are basically getting away with it each time. They are pushing a little bit further. And what's happening is, with each election cycle, the media is becoming so extreme in their support of the Democrats that they're completely hiding any information and any facts. So when you're watching the news, you go on Facebook, you're reading the news, New York Times, Wall Street Journal, Washington Post, whatever it is, you know, every single time they say, you know, Trump claimed for, you know, voter fraud, even though there's no evidence to support that. You know, Trump claims voter fraud, even though he has not shown any evidence to support that. There it is, in your face, right there. There it is. Is this going to change anything? I don't think so. I think at this point, you know, Trump is already remodeling his Mar-a-Lago home. So I don't think it's going to happen. You know, I think part of the reason why they're pushing this voter fraud allegation so strongly is because it genuinely happened. I mean, it really happened in really large numbers. And what we have to ask ourselves too is, again, in Georgia, if these boxes were stuffed and Biden came out, you know, the winner 99+% of the time, how many of those votes were changed in the Senate races? Do we even need to have a runoff, right, in Georgia? I'm not sure we do. So if we don't even need a runoff in Georgia, that makes a really, really big difference. Obviously, there's issues in Minnesota as well. So this, in Wisconsin, this is just, like, this is going to continue. It's not going to go away. At the end of the day, I do think that Trump is not going to be able to stay for another 4 years. Unfortunately, I think he knows that. But what he's doing is he's really building a case for the future, of this country.
Bringing everything to light. And I think that's the most important thing. It's the truth needs to come out. And
I read in Wisconsin, there was like, you know, they found like 2,500 people who were dead that voted, and then another like 4,000 people who voted multiple times. You know, I mean, these are real things. And, you know, when you're talking about thousands of ballots, that makes a difference. Again, it might not make a difference in terms of the election result, but it makes a difference in terms of House seats. It makes a difference in terms of, you know, the Senate. All of that really, really makes a lot of sense. And I think, you know, for a lot of Republicans who are just thinking about it from a logical perspective, right? I mean, you know, for an incumbent to lose the presidency, highly unlikely, but happens. It happened. Okay, fine. For a president to win re-election and, you know, their party to lose so many seats, highly unlikely, but again, happens. It happened. But when all of these things, you know, like dominoes, are starting to happen one after the other, the probability is very, very low. So, you know, I don't know. I'm grateful that Republicans at least were able to do so well in Congress, and I'm really hopeful that they'll be able to hold off in the Senate, because that's going to make a really big difference for all of us.
Huge
And
difference.
I think that's the most important thing right now, that we have to.
Bad
Hombre, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your support.
Wow, thank you. The people will not allow Biden to serve. You two are great, by the way.
Oh,
thank you so much. Wow,
that really appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I actually, you know, it's funny because, you know, Bad Hombre saying the people will not allow Biden to serve. I think half the country, you know, I think he will. I think people will allow him, because at the end of the day, you have half the country who doesn't believe voter fraud happened. That's, I think, the craziest thing, right? And this is...
Oh, thank you,
Cher! Thank you so much. Thank you. We all love Ariel and Zane. Oh, thank you. I gotta say, the followers on here are warm and wonderful. You guys really are. You guys really, really are.
It's really, really amazing. I just looking through the chat, you guys are so nice to each other, so friendly, so loving, and I really think that's what we really wanted to like build. We wanted to build a community of people of getting together, and I'm glad you see that, Cher.
Yeah.
I love that. Thank you.
I remember after our first live ever, we were on a high for like an entire week, literally, because it just felt so warm and loving and welcoming and accepting and open, which is exactly what we wanted to do. And then to actually see it, come to fruition and seeing it, happen is so exciting. It's really exciting. And it's also just fun to know that we're all able to, hang out together once a week and kind of do this, and hopefully soon with Zoom.
Yes,
which
and
is
Zoom
just
coming up
amazing,
so that we can all see everybody's faces.
Yes, absolutely.
That would be amazing.
Absolutely. So that is just, Ariel, you guys have succeeded. Thank you, Justin. Wow. Yeah, it's just, David is saying we need a huge get-together. Yeah, I agree, and I really hope that we're going to be able to do some kind of a get-together at some point. It would be really, really fun if we could. I don't know how that would work. It's not like, it's not like we're going to be going on tours or anything. So, like, maybe we can all, figure out, like, a spot where we can all, like, meet and do something. It would be so much fun.
It would be a lot of fun,
So, it's just, I don't know. It's really special to be able to do this with you guys. And then seeing the same people show up every week. And, like, today we opened up the chat and we already saw you guys were like talking, and it was just so exciting for us to see all of that happening. So thank you, everyone.
It's really an amazing community. House of DMaaj, the fam.
Yeah, there you go, the House of DMaaj family. So I don't even remember what we were talking about anymore. But basically, my really strong fear is in Georgia, they've already seen a record number of people requesting ballots for mail-in ballots, specifically from Black communities in Georgia. Just, these record numbers, which, again, very possible. Obviously, it's very, very possible. But
Lynn, sorry to cut you off. I love that. I call myself a mini Maj.
I love it. Oh, that is cool.
That is so cute. I love that, Lynn.
Yeah, wow. I love that. Femicom Mike. We know Lady Maga, actually.
Yeah, we were supposed to do
we were supposed to do a collaboration with her in Utah.
Last year in September. Yeah.
It was really sad because we literally packed at the time we only had our one dog, and he was 16 at the time, so we packed him with us. We rented an Airbnb in Salt Lake City for a week. We packed all of our makeup, our clothes, everything, drove to Salt Lake City to do this. And then literally, I think it was the day before, or the day of, actually.
One of the venues that we had backed out, and then we got another venue. And then that venue was attacked by Antifa.
Both venues got attacked by Antifa.
That's right.
And so our first venue let us know that they're canceling our event literally the day before because of all the protesters that were happening and Antifa. And it was just crazy and insane. We were able to find a second venue, and then that got canceled. So it was just... It was so upsetting. Reality's in perspective. Oh my goodness, thank you.
Thank you.
4 more years guaranteed. Take that to the bank.
I really hope so.
I really
hope so. That would be amazing, and we'll see what happens with all the cases that they're presenting and all the information that's coming out. Only time will tell.
Only time will tell. Yeah. But actually, that experience with Lady Maga really taught us a lot about Antifa. It also is part of the reason why we're so careful and about our privacy and secretive about our privacy as well. Because part of that event, we actually invited person who was a Democratic delegate for Elizabeth Warren to participate in that event.
A delegate in Utah.
In Utah. Yeah. And that event was supposed to just be about free speech and all of us talking and performing, and it's supposed to be open for everyone. Obviously, it was conservatives with this one token Democratic delegate.
Yeah.
But everyone was invited. They asked to join. Obviously, we agreed. Turned out that Democratic delegate was actually a spy that wanted to know kind of what we're talking about, what we're doing.
Yeah.
And they then went and shared all of our information, shared where the event would be because we kept it secret. We knew that it's going to be protested against.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, this person shared it, and it really taught us a lesson. And it really is sad because I think naturally we're very trusting people.
Yeah.
And, we really had to learn to have our guard up as a result.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah.
So, okay. Having said all of that, okay. Back to Georgia. We have to win this. Record number of absentee ballots that were requested, which is really, really scary because they all come from the counties that Biden won overwhelmingly. Again, this, same thing happened before. It just, to me, something does not make sense here. The numbers don't make sense.
No.
Obama, as the first black president, did not get as many people that voted for him as much as Biden got. And a lot of these votes, again, there's like signature issues. You're finding, thousands of votes everywhere, that are popping up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Boxes from under the table. I mean, this is really scary. I think Republicans really messed up in Georgia. They didn't have enough people on the ground to actually survey the election, and no one really insisted on staying. And they were like, "No, we're going to stay." They messed up, unfortunately, in that regard. And I think we've talked about this before. Honestly, I really believe that if the first debate was not as bad as it was, we would have a Trump president. And at the time, I said Trump did what he had to do. I agree with that still, but I think that really sealed it. And it's just such a shame because he was such a good president for so many people that it's a shame now that we're going to have Biden, and we're going to go over his cabinet picks in a second, and we're going to see, this is basically we're returning back to Obama's era. That's really what it comes down to. People are saying this is the administration of experience. All of this experience, for the most part, comes from the Obama, ex-Obama officials.
Yeah, and hopefully not worse than Obama's administration.
Yeah.
I mean, with Kamala.
With Kamala, absolutely. Yeah. Joe had the second he used his dog as spawns. That's hilarious.
Justin, why you were drinking? This is why I'm drinking, because of Joe Biden's picks. Well, that is what we're going to discuss. So hold on to that vodka.
So, okay, I went through all of them. Basically, we're not, he's picked quite a few. We're not going to go like literally every single one because I think that'll take forever. But, this is the thing. I think basically Biden's...
Justin has a large bottle.
I love it.
Good.
So this is what kind of I'm thinking. The first round of picks that Biden has done so far basically shows two things. Number one, he's very cautious. Number two, he doesn't necessarily think that Democrats are going to win their Georgia runoff. Even though, actually, I think in both cases, the Democrats are leading in the polls in Georgia. Again, that doesn't say much because we all know how, what the polls say and do. But again, even though the polls show that Democrats are leading in Georgia, I really hope Republicans are going to be able to win at least one of those seats. Because if Republicans are going to lose both seats in Georgia, and it's going to be a 50-50 split in the Senate, it's over. It's literally over for us as conservatives, because at that point, this is going to be like the first 2 years of Obama's presidency. Crazy, completely life-changing policies that we are not going to be able to turn back, like Obamacare. So we have to have at least one-person majority, 51-49, in order to prevent that from happening. And luckily, looking at the picks that he's made, it shows that for the most part, he's probably being cautious because he knows that his cabinet picks basically need Senate approval, and if Republicans are going to have the majority, they won't be approved.
Yeah.
So I think that's really good to know, and that's really good to keep in mind. Yeah, and actually, some people are saying it's going to be worse because of, AOC, and obviously I think it's going to be worse because the Democratic Party has moved so far to the left, even since Obama, that it's going to be really difficult, I think. And if Republicans end up losing these 2 seats in Georgia, then I think the progressive wing of the Democratic Party is basically going to rule. If Republicans win, then we have some more time to convince the public that progressivism is not the way to go, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. So the interesting thing is, most of the people that he's picked are government veterans, so they have the highest probability of passing the nominations. They're not prominent left-wing ideologues, which you talked about, and they're not going to have a strong opposition, even among conservatives in most cases. I think Biden is so far, based on his picks, if this is the direction he's going to continue going, he's actually going to have a stronger opposition from the progressive wing of the Democratic Party than even Republicans. Again, it doesn't say much, right? Because Republicans will vote based on person's experience and whether or not they're legitimately qualified to serve in these positions, not whether they agree with them ideologically or politically. So just because someone has the experience doesn't mean it's the right experience. And we all know, as much as Biden has all of his experience, every foreign policy decision I think he's ever made, he's been on the wrong side of history. So experience doesn't say much, but
experience doesn't say much.
Not in this case. The other thing that kind of worries me too, and I think we could talk about this a little bit later, but I think, the sad thing is that towards the end of Trump's 4th year, we really saw how much his policies and how much his approach to world affairs and world leaders, how much it's actually changed things on the ground, not just in Europe, in terms of their increased payments for NATO, in terms of the missile defense system in Eastern Europe, in terms of Eastern European countries actually standing up for themselves. We're talking about Czech Republic, we're talking about Hungary, we're talking about Poland, standing up for themselves against the EU. I think that would not have been possible to the extent that it happened had it not been for Trump in the last 4 years. Obviously, the peace deals that we've been seeing all across the Middle East would not have happened.
No.
And I doubt that people in Hong Kong would be holding American flags and screaming democracy and thanking Donald Trump for supporting them during the crackdown of the Beijing regime that's happening in Hong Kong. I think under Obama this would have been a much softer. Obviously they would condemn it. But that would basically be it. Whereas Trump is actually making steps on the ground. So I find it hilarious, when we're hearing people saying, Putin and, Xi Jinping of China are, really excited to see Trump refusing to concede and, all of these things. No, they're really excited to see Biden go into office and in both cases, because obviously now we know that Biden had special relationships in China, and as much as people are calling Moscow Mitch and all these things, it really should be Moscow Biden, considering the fact that his family has so many ties to Moscow, specifically the mayor and his son.
Projecting there.
It's so much projection.
Major projection.
So I think that is really going to change.
Look over there.
The world a lot.
Don't look here. Look over there.
I think that's going to really change the world a lot. And not in a good way. I think a lot of things are going to be said and done to make everyone feel better. But on the ground, things are just going to continue to get perpetually worse. Obviously, we know about the Iranian nuclear deal that Biden has already said he wants to go back into, which is really scary because basically the Iranian nuclear deal expires in less than 5 years. Less than 5 years. So think about it. If we go back in and he wants to negotiate after we go back into the deal. So when we go back into the deal, we basically eliminate all the sanctions, give them all the money back that they've lost. Their economy improves. Literally less than 5 years from now, they're on par to having a nuclear bomb with a lot of money. So all the pressure and that Trump has been doing now, I mean, all of that was basically made to to get Iran basically to come back to the table, to the conversation, to change the Iranian nuclear deal entirely, right? To include ballistic missiles in the deal, to curb their influence in the Middle East. I mean, there's a lot of, Iran is obviously a bad actor. By going back into the deal and allowing them to have all that, influx of cash again, basically after 5 years, they will have no reason to not complete and go after their nuclear weapons. And at this point, they're enriching uranium. They've already approved, I think, a couple of days ago, the government approved enriching uranium at 20%, which at this point is enough to actually create a nuclear bomb. You don't need 20% for peaceful purposes. You don't need 20% for electricity purposes. So clearly, words one thing and actions are completely different things. And Democrats are just ignoring it, and so does the media. And it's very sad, because people are saying, look, Trump is, causing Iran to get a nuclear weapon. No, what's happening is under this deal, both Obama and Biden basically caused Iran to have a nuclear weapon with a ton of money in their pockets. That was what was happening. So
Trump's going to start World War III. Trump's going to do this.
Yeah.
Trump's going to do that. Trump's done this.
World War III. We're going to start a war with North Korea. We're going to start a war with Iran. None of that happened. No. Meanwhile, Biden and Obama started a war in Libya that killed, tens of thousands of people. I think at this point, actually, possibly hundreds of thousands. Millions of people are displaced. The entire Middle East and Africa are burning as a result of this war that Obama supported and started. I mean, this is just, it's kind of ridiculous at this point. And what we found out that as all the fear-mongering that we've had against Trump, turns out not only did he not start a war, he's reduced troops to in Afghanistan, reduced troops in Iraq, and now he's talking about bringing all the troops back from Somalia, all of them, by the beginning of 2021. So that is his legacy. His legacy is bringing troops back home,
peace,
eliminating wars, and creating peace among many countries. And the sad thing is that just yesterday, I basically read that Bahrain is saying that they're not ready to commit to peace with Israel, official peace with Israel. They have unofficial ties, and good ties, actually. But they're refusing to commit to official peace with Israel because they want to see what happens. Because basically, under Trump, it made a lot of sense to make this peace deal. And under Biden, it doesn't. Because Biden and Democrats in general think that the only way to make peace is by appeasing Palestinians first. So for them, all of these peace deals that happen really go against the indoctrination that they're trying to get to all of us, of saying, first we have to appease Palestinians, only then we can have peace. Trump completely shattered that idea altogether. And I think it's just, very sad, because now instead of having more peace, we're going to go back to, to countries refusing to do peace, and who knows how many years it's going to take to build back that trust again. So I think that's really a shame. It's something I'm definitely worried about. And it's not just Qatar. We're talking about Saudi Arabia as well. So, we'll see what happens. But I think with Saudi Arabia, even though they're not ready for peace yet, they're already openly working with Israel. And I think at this point, both Saudi Arabia and Israel, think about it, Saudi Arabia and Israel. Saudi Arabia, where, Osama bin Laden came from Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia was a big sponsor of terrorism, now is one of the strongest fighters against terrorism, and Israel working together to counterbalance the really crazy agenda that the Biden administration is going to have towards Iran. So in some ways, maybe actually Biden administration will bring more peace to the Middle East, just because countries are going to have to provide a counterbalance to the disastrous policies that Biden and that Biden wants to go back to under Obama administration, or what we saw under the Obama administration 4 years ago.
I just think it's very interesting how the Democrats are accusing of Trump of he's going to cause all this chaos. He's going to cause all of this destruction, but in reality, it's all of the rioters that are taking to the streets that are causing all of the chaos. Distractions.
It's really it's outrageous.
But no, they're peaceful. Peaceful protests, right?
Peaceful protests. There you go. And Antifa is just an idea.
It's just an idea.
So
All right.
Okay.
Toss that paper.
Let's look at Joe Biden's cabinet picks. So the cabinet picks includes the VP, and there's the cabinet picks includes the VP and heads of 15 executive departments. These departments are agriculture, commerce, defense, education, energy, health and human services, homeland security, housing and urban development, interior, justice, labor, state, transportation, treasury, and the Veterans Affairs.
Yeah.
So I love it. Justin's like, now you're making me drink. We'll all drink.
We'll all drink. Tea.
Giving you the tea. So that's, those are basically the executive departments. Now there's other key positions that are considered cabinet level rank. So they're not cabinet positions, but they're cabinet level rank. Those are the White House Chief of Staff, Environmental Protection Agency Administrator, Office of Management and Budget Director, U.S. Trade Representative Administrator, U.S. Ambassador to the UN, Director of National Intelligence. All of these cabinet positions require Senate confirmation, as well as some of the other cabinet level positions. This is why I think we're seeing Biden be so careful when it comes to his picks, because they all require Senate confirmation.
Yeah.
And hopefully, most likely, it'll be a Republican Senate. Fingers crossed.
Yes.
Hopefully,
Yes.
that would be the goal.
Yes.
These are the people that he chose. We'll go over them as well. So we have for the National Security Advisor, we have Jake Sullivan. Now, here's the thing. National Security Advisor does not need to be confirmed by the Senate. So this, Jake Sullivan, that's a confirmed pick. That's definitely who we're going to have. The UN Ambassador, we have Linda Thomas Greenfield. She's going to need to be confirmed. Most likely she will. We'll talk about that in a minute. Council of Economic Advisors Chair, we're going to see Cecilia Rose. The Special Presidential Envoy for Climate, that's going to be John Kerry, and he does not need to be approved by the Senate, which is very smart to put John Kerry, a career politician, in a post that will not require the confirmation of the Senate, because there's no chance in hell that he would get approved. And again, it's a really, people are really giving Biden a lot of credit for putting John Kerry in this position. But, from what I've seen, I just cannot recall one. I literally cannot recall one thing that Kerry has done successfully as a career politician outside of being a Massachusetts governor. I don't know that much about his history as a governor. When he ran for president back in 2004, I did a lot of research on John Kerry. But to be honest with you, that was 2004. I don't remember that much. Ever since then, I've concentrated really on what he does since then. And basically, I cannot point to one success that he's had. Not in the Middle East, not in Asia, not in Africa, not at the UN. I mean, literally not in one position. And the only success I would say that John Kerry has had was success at basically giving up and essentially just really not standing up for what's best for the US. Mm-hmm. The only success that he's had is being a globalist and thinking what's good for the world at large, not necessarily for the US. And even if something is good for the world at large and hurts the US, is detrimental to the US, in his view, that was worth it. What I find refreshing with Mike Pompeo, for example, he says, if it's not good for the US, it's not good for the world, therefore it's not worth it. And that is a very different style of being press secretary, and that is why we're seeing, with John Kerry, all of the trips that he's made to the Middle East, to Israel, to Palestine, to, all of the Arab countries in the Middle East, Northern African countries, he's literally managed to accomplish nothing. A big fat 0, 0, 0, nothing. He hasn't he's accomplished literally nothing in all of his travels.
Trouble, yeah.
Trouble. Freudian slip.
Trouble.
Right?
Trouble.
And it's just in everything that he's done, he's managed to nothing. Meanwhile, Mike Pompeo, who's been Secretary of State for not even the full 4 years. I mean, at this point, I think it's been maybe 2 years that he's been the Secretary of State. I mean, I don't remember the exact date that he became Secretary of State. Look at how much he's accomplished in Africa, in Asia, in the Middle East. I mean, we have stronger, warmer ties with South Korea, with Japan, with Taiwan. I mean, the list goes on and on. Obviously, there's a lot of we have stronger ties in Africa, which is really important because China and Russia and even Turkey are putting so much effort into taking hold of the African continent. It's really important that there's American presence there.
Yeah.
And again, with John Kerry, there was definitely American presence, but zero results. Whereas with Mike Pompeo, you're really seeing a completely different style of working, which I'm all about it. Yeah. Very, very supportive. Very, very happy about that.
Yeah, I love it. Everybody's saying that, well, I guess I don't love it, but refilling the swamp. The same old swamp, SOS. I like that lane.
Coincidence? Yeah. I love that. That's funny.
Yeah, same old swamp.
And I think that's the thing, right? Is basically what we're seeing is, Biden is lauded for his, cabinet picks of, look, we're going back to normalcy, everyone. Yay, normalcy.
Yeah, normalcy
people
to
with
the swamp.
Experience. That's not the kind of normal I want. There was a time when, Russians living under, Stalin, that was normal. There was a time where living under an oppressive, regime, communist regime was normal. There was a time when it was normal for Jews to be put in concentration camps. Normal is not necessarily good.
No.
Again, I'm not comparing, Biden to concentration camps or Stalin or anything like that in any way, shape, or form. I'm just saying that going back to normalcy is not necessarily a good thing. And having people with experience, again, someone like Biden, zero experience in the entire time that he's been, a lot of experience, zero achievements in the entire time that he's been Secretary of State. That really says a lot. That really, really does.
It does, yeah.
Okay, let's see. We have the communications director. That's going to be Kate Bedingfield, and she will also not need to be confirmed by the Senate. So that's a done deal for Kate Bedingfield. And we have the press secretary, Jen Psaki. She will also not need to be confirmed by the Senate. So again, done deal. We're good with that. Obviously, we have the vice president. She does not need to be confirmed. She does not need to be confirmed. And we have Secretary of State, Antony Blinken. He will need to be confirmed. Secretary of the Treasury, Janet Yellen. She will need to be confirmed. We'll talk about her. We'll talk about Antony. Secretary of Homeland Security, Alejandro Mayorkas. He will need to be confirmed. And we have the cabinet rank status and White House staff. So we have the Chief of Staff, which is Ron Klein, does not need to be confirmed. The Office of Management and Budget Director, we have Nero Tandon. She does need to be confirmed, and I can't wait to talk about her because basically Republicans are saying there's zero chance that she's going to be confirmed because she's said so many disparaging remarks about Republicans, and it's really fascinating because after she was nominated, she's basically went and deleted thousands of her tweets, literally thousands of her tweets, and I guess some of them she forgot to delete. Now they're deleted already. But some of them she forgot to delete or people took screenshots. But basically for years, she's been bad-mouthing the Republicans who are now going to be voting on her confirmation. And I think a lot of Republicans are going to hold a lot against her as a result of that. So I doubt that's going to happen.
Oh, thank you, Ting. Such a nice compliment.
Ariel and Zane, your hair remind me of the colors of the nine-tailed fox lover's story. Always love your hair and makeup. Oh, thank you. That's a really nice compliment.
Yes.
Thank you. We'll take it.
Yes, absolutely.
I love what Christopher Gundel is saying. If she deletes them, they never existed. Exactly. And that's how it works. If you delete them, it doesn't exist.
Well, only if it's for Democrats.
Only if it's for Democrats. Yeah, oh, of course.
Now, if it's for Republicans,
And if you say something that, is not true. It's still considered true if you're a Democrat, obviously.
Right.
Yeah. You could still run based on, the soul of the nation, even though you're, literally a pathological liar that copies people's work, running for president time and time again, and still win. So you know,
Seems
I
pretty
think
cozy over there.
Yeah, I know. I want those standards applied to me. That would be nice. Also we have the National Intelligence Director, which is Avril Haines, as well. So, you know, this is really interesting. I think you guys all know, I don't know if you guys heard about the tweet that Marco Rubio tweeted. I think I took a screenshot of it. Let me just check.
Oh, thank you,
sure.
Rosie.
Let's see. You give good face. Wow, incredible cheekbones. Thank you.
It's highlighter.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Was she talking about your cheekbones or my cheekbones?
Well, obviously she's talking about mine. No.
Wait, hold on.
Ooh.
So much fun. It was really cool because for Halloween I was able to paint my cheekbones. Literally, it looked like the highest cheekbones ever. It was just like so cut. It was amazing. Trying to recreate that moment, and I've not been able to since then. So, okay, let me see. Did I? Yes. Okay. Sweet. I did. So I don't know if you guys read the tweet or not. I'm just gonna read it to you guys, just so we all know what we're talking about. Biden's cabinet picks went to Ivy League schools, have strong resumes, attend all the right conferences, and will be polite and orderly caretakers of America's decline. I support American greatness, and I have no interest in returning to the normal that left us dependent on China. Okay, so that was Marco Rubio's tweet. It got a lot of support from Republicans. A lot of people really made fun of him because basically he's saying I don't like Ivy League people that are educated and experienced. And a lot of people are like, of course not. You want dumb uneducated people, just like your average Trump voter. Those are a lot of the comments that I've been seeing.
Hi, John.
Oh, hi, John. Yay. So glad you were able to join us, and at the perfect time too. So yeah, basically, I don't know if you guys were able to see that.
I think you have a little bit of lipstick on your teeth.
Oh, lipstick on my teeth. No, I'm good.
On the side. There we go.
There we go. Does this happen to you guys often? Where you guys have like
it's
lipstick
from
on your
drinking
teeth?
the tea.
Ah, that's right. Okay, thank you. Now I know.
It's from the tea.
But basically, it was really interesting. So I wanted to do.
Christopher, fix it, girl.
I know, I love it. I wanted to do my own research, and I wanted to see, because this is something that I thought was really interesting. I'm not a person that thinks that you need to have Ivy League education in order to be good. As a matter of fact, the interesting thing is most CEOs. Most CEOs around the world, most successful millionaires don't have an Ivy League education.
Billionaires.
I think, billionaires as well. I think out of American CEOs in the top 500 companies, I think less than 30% have Ivy League education. And actually, a lot of studies show that people that don't go to Ivy League universities actually oftentimes make more money than people that do, because they're a little bit more creative. They're thinking outside the box, outside of the indoctrination that I guess you get at an Ivy League university. But I did some of my own digging. I wanted to see what are the numbers like and does it compare. And basically, I thought that was kind of like a baseless thing that Marco Rubio said.
Before you get into it, I just want to say, Ginny, good tip. We're gonna have to try that. I heard about that as well, but you forget about it. So thank you. Have
you ever put Vaseline on your teeth? It's supposed to keep getting lipstick stuck on the. Oh.
Vaseline on
that's
the
right.
teeth. Yeah.
I've heard about that.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying that. We're gonna have to try that.
Yeah.
Literally next live, we'll put Vaseline and see if that works.
See if it works.
So yeah, I love that idea. I heard about it. I don't know why we never tried it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to try that. Thank you, Jenny.
Thank you. So yeah, okay. Did some research. These are the things that I found. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo went to Harvard Law School after graduating from West Point. So that's an Ivy League university, and obviously he's really great. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin went to Yale University. Attorney General Bill Barr went to Columbia University.
Parker.
Hi, V. Parker! Yay!
Glad you were able to join us.
I'm so glad you were able to join us. I love it. You thought it was Saturday. I don't want to say we wish, because we love Saturdays, but And you know, we love talking to you guys. So if it was Saturday, we wouldn't be. But you know, Saturday is nice. Always nice to have a weekend. I love it. G party, awesome. So yeah, Steve Mnuchin went to Yale University. Attorney General Bill Barr went to Columbia University.
Wait, sorry, I have to say one thing. Hi, John and John's family.
John's family? John McJunkin, thank you. This time I've got my wife, my daughter, my cousin, and my cousin's 2 friends, Jamie and Skylar. Yes!
Hi,
guys.
family.
John's family. Oh, this is so exciting. And 2 friends.
And 2 friends.
Hi, guys. Thank you for joining. This is awesome. I love it. This is like a family.
It's a full-on viewing party.
Thing.
Yeah, love it.
God, love to meet your family. This is so cool.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Thank you guys. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching, listening.
Absolutely.
Thank you for being a part of this, making it such a fun experience.
Yeah.
So, yeah, okay.
I won't interrupt you. I won't interrupt you anymore.
So all of these things, all of these people that we talked about, all of them, right? I personally love and support. I don't care if they went to Columbia or Harvard or whatever. They're doing an amazing job. I think it just shows you that, you know, experience and Ivy League education does not make or break a person. This is something that we were asked to talk about actually in another email, specifically that tweet. So I want to talk about this because I guess a lot of people on the left made fun of Marco Rubio for saying this. Oh, he doesn't like educated people. That's not true. Clearly he does, because he's voted to approve, you know, all of Trump's picks, all of these people who were also highly educated and very successful and very experienced. So that's not the case. I think he was just trying to make a point that these are not, you know, people who are going to be representing the people, whereas these other Ivy League people will represent the people. I think that's the point that he was trying to make. Maybe not in the most eloquent way possible. But yeah, we have Secretary of Commerce, Wilbur Ross. He went to Yale University and Harvard Business School. And Secretary of Health and Human Services, Alex Azar, went to Dartmouth College and has a law degree from Yale University. Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, Ben Carson, went to Yale University. Secretary of Transportation, Elaine Chao, has an MBA from Harvard Business School. That's Ivy League. Trade Advisor, Peter Navarro, PhD in Economics from Harvard University. Former Secretary of Defense, Mark Esper, Harvard University. And former Secretary of Labor, Alexander Acosta, again, Harvard University. So Trump and Trump himself, I mean, we talk about, you know, again, obviously Ivy League University, Wharton School. So Wharton School of Business. So basically, you know, to the person that asked us to talk about this, I don't have an issue with people having an Ivy League education. I think it's great if you have one. I think it's great if you don't. Yeah. It just depends what your life passions are and, you know, where you want to go in life. Yeah. In terms of the experience and their policies, I don't think, you know, unfortunately what's happening is most people that go to Ivy League universities come out brainwashed and indoctrinated. Yeah. That is very unfortunate, and I think that is the point that he was trying to get across. Unfortunately, it blew up in his face a little bit because Trump has a lot of people from the same universities that Biden has picked as well. So
everybody's saying, toss the paper.
Toss that paper. Yes. Okay. So yeah. So I thought it was fascinating. I'm really excited to see what Marco Rubio is going to be doing now in the next 4 years, because he's basically going to be part of the opposition. It's going to be interesting to see if he's going to be able to, you know, kind of get his star rising and possibly run again. In 2024, it'll be really interesting. I definitely think he has a bright future in the Republican Party. He represents the future. I'm super excited about that because him and, you know, others like Nikki Haley, they really represent what the future of the Republican Party is going to be. We're going to have a record number of women representing Republicans in this Congress. In the next Congress, which is just so exciting. Yeah. It's so incredible. And I think what is really special, and that's something that the media doesn't talk about. You know, they always talk about the record number of women Democrats have. They don't talk about the record number of women that Republicans have. Nonetheless, though, it does make a difference in the sense that locally, when a person runs for Congress or Senate, even though the national media might not give them the credit or give the credit to the party, it does matter locally when voters are, viewing who they want to vote for, and if they want to vote for a woman or a male, it helps to see, these minorities that represent them. Since the majority of voters are women, it'd be nice to have, at least an equal amount of women representing the majority of voters. I think that's nice. And so the Republicans are making huge strides in that direction.
Oh, thank you, V. Parker.
V. Parker, thank you so much.
I appreciate that.
Thank you. Have you talked about the Georgia accounting video and third-party fact-checkers who say it doesn't show any cheating? Jeez, we have. We actually have.
What we opened our live with. Yeah, we talked about that.
We talked about that.
And Justin sent us over a video. So Justin, make sure to send put a link to that video for other people who haven't checked that out.
In the comments, not in the chat, just to make sure so that other people can see it as well. But yeah, we have, and it's just it's outrageous. It's really, 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 really outrageous. So we won't talk about it again, just so we don't bore people again. But we talked about, we actually opened with it. So V. Parker, I hope you get a chance to kind of go back and re-listen to it. It is absolutely outrageous, absolutely outrageous, and it is so important that we fight this to the bitter end. Not because it's potentially going to change the outcome of the election. I don't think it will, but there's a whole host of other reasons, which we talked about before, and a lot of them have to do with the fact that we need to make sure that the next election that is going to happen in Georgia, the runoff election, is going to be fair. And it's not going to be fair if we let this go.
So the truth has to be brought to the light. Because if we don't bring the truth to the light now, we might not have another chance.
Yes.
So that's really, really important to take advantage of this opportunity now.
Absolutely.
We might not have that opportunity again.
Absolutely. So I say, let's fight to the bitter end to show all of the voter fraud that is happening. I am so glad that we have this video that came out, because the reality is, aside from a few things that were found here, a few things that were found there, Giuliani and the Republican team did not actually show a lot of proof when it comes to voter fraud. My take on it was, well, of course they're not going to show a lot of proof to the public. They're keeping it for courts. That's kind of what I'm hoping for, but it's nice to have these videos because it really shows. And I think anyone watching this video really has to be like, to watch this video and then read below it, fact check, this is false, as they're seeing with their own eyes what is happening. So I think that would be really, really fascinating. So I love that. And V. Parker says ABC, she heard ABC showed the Georgia video. Good. I'm glad. I hope everyone shows it. Because it's necessary. It's a joke if networks don't show it. Right. So.
Well. They've already entered that.
They've already entered the joke round. Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right. Well, let's have some more tea, because we're about to spill some tea on the nominees. Can I have some more tea? Yeah. All right. So this time, I don't know if you guys can see, Justin said this reminds him of the, thank you. Justin said this reminds him of a tea kettle from Downton Abbey. I don't know if you guys can see, maybe I can show you guys closer. I don't know, it looks like white, but basically it actually has little...
I think you have to put your hand behind.
Oh.
YouTubers, put the...
YouTuber moment.
I don't think it worked.
No, it doesn't work. It basically has little gold rims and stuff. It's really cool. Really, really love it. And it's just cool that you get to have these things passed down from family members. It's really, it makes it so special, and we really hold on to those kind of things. So
we do.
Thank you, Mom, for the tea kettle.
Very nostalgic.
Yeah. And thank you to my sister who was willing to let me have it. Cheers.
Cheers.
So good.
Very needed. What tea? You made the tea.
Yeah, I made the tea. So basically,
there so I don't knock it over.
This is a this is organic black tea mixed in with some hibiscus and some red currant and I believe grapefruit.
Yeah. Did
So
you put
it's just
something
a
sweet
mix.
in there? I feel like there's like honey or something.
A little bit of agave.
Ooh,
Yeah,
agave.
a little bit of agave. So these,
Fancy.
yeah, a little bit of agave. To
Ting,
make
I love
it
it.
a little bit sweet.
Mad Hatter tea time.
I love it.
For sure, for sure.
Yes, yes. We were actually gonna have some tea and brownies this time.
Yeah.
And they're like right next to us, but
Yeah.
we'll save the brownies after the live.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, delicious brownies. Only 3 ingredients: bananas, peanut butter, and cacao. That's it. And it was delicious.
Yeah. Oh,
Really
you put
recommend.
chocolate chips in it as well.
Oh, I did. I put chocolate chips this
So
time.
4
Yeah.
ingredients.
So 4 ingredients.
Yeah.
But it's totally fine with the 3 ingredients, and it's
Yeah.
so delicious. And vegan. So, yeah. Cher says, I love hibiscus. It's so good, isn't it? I love it too. Yeah, we have it at least once a day. Some hibiscus tea.
Justin's like, you're killing me. I can't eat carbs. Wait, I don't think
Oh,
there's any
Justice,
carbs.
this is the point.
There's no carbs.
Well, I mean, there are carbs from the bananas, but
Oh,
Justin,
well, they're healthy
bananas,
carbs
it's
from
healthy
bananas.
There's no sugar, no honey, no sweeteners whatsoever.
Yeah.
I literally took 6 bananas, mashed them up. I took I think it was like a cup of peanut butter and mixed it in, and then half a cup of cacao and mixed that in, put it in the oven, 350, 375 for depending on your oven and how hot it gets, and anywhere from like 20 to 40 minutes, again depending on your oven, and comes out amazing. Don't feel guilty.
No.
It's fantastic for breakfast because you're basically having really good breakfast food. You're having peanut butter, potassium, peanut butter has a lot of protein, a lot of healthy fats, potassium, fiber, lots of vitamins. Cacao is really, really good, and cacao is really good to fight chivi. So there you go. Apparently, I just read that yesterday. So
there we go, staying healthy.
that's it. Yeah, and it's cacao. It's not sweetened cacao. 100% cacao. So good. I really recommend it. And guilt-free dessert. Completely guilt-free.
Yes, Jilly, delicious.
That sounds delicious. I love it.
Very delicious.
It is.
And John, you have more people joining.
Wow, I love it. Tony, Jen, Kelly. Oh my God, how cool.
Hi, group. Hi, fam. Hi, friends.
Hi, my cousin is throwing her first teen drag party while watching you both. Yay! All right,
Love
cousin.
it.
I love it. This is
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah. I love it. If you want to, we would love to see photos, so you can send us over photos.
Oh, yes,
You
please.
can email it to us or tag it on social media or however.
However you want, yeah.
Whatever you want, we would love to see.
How fun.
Yes.
Oh, that'd be really fun. Hopefully you guys can join us on our Zoom call as well. Yeah, if you guys haven't signed up to our Zoom call.
We are doing a private Zoom call. This is not going to be on YouTube Live. This is going to be something completely private. So if you want to be a part of it, you have to RSVP. So if you want to RSVP, you have to sign up for the newsletter.
And you will find the newsletter
on houseofdemaj.com/stay up to date.
There we go.
And yeah, we hope you will join.
Yeah,
it's
that'd
going
be
to be
amazing.
it's going to be a
It's
video
amazing.
Zoom. We're going to see everybody's faces and interact. And,
Yeah, it's gonna be it's not gonna it's gonna be probably relatively short. We're thinking like an hour, but it's gonna be our first one, and then we'll see how it goes, and we'll go from there, which is really exciting.
Yeah, all thanks to Ed. This was all
Ed's idea. So.
Ed's idea of creating this Zoom thing. So thank you, Ed.
Yes, and Ed, make sure that you do get our emails because we want to send you a private email about something different a little bit later. So since you mentioned that you didn't get it, make sure that you do. And if you don't, let us know so we know because we want to send you another email.
Okay, he said he found it. Okay, excellent.
Perfect.
Good.
Okay, good.
Okay,
Excellent.
Good.
Okay, so, and one last thing. What I love about this whole John scenario with the family and the friends and everything, not only are they interested in drag and entertaining, and they're open and nice, and John is super supportive of his cousin, whole situation. It's just really heartwarming, amazing, and just incredible. But what I love about all of this is they're not just interested in entertainment, right? They're not watching us for the entertainment value because I mean, sometimes we're entertaining, you know, but I'm sure a lot of times we're also kind of boring. And so it's kind of cool because not only like are they entertained and interested in drag, they're interested in policy, like in actual politics, in actual world events, you know, that are going to shape their lives. And it's kind of cool that they're, you know, participating, being a part of this. That's very special. Yes. That's literally what we wanted to do. And so seeing this in person just brings so much joy to us. So thank you.
Liz, like, stop it. You're not boring.
Thank you. Sometimes we wonder, you know, because we can go on and on about stuff.
Politics sometimes can be boring, so.
All right. So, at House of DMaaj said, the realities in perspective.
Oh, good. Good. Glad.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, so let's go over some of the picks because, you know, we're not going to go through like literally every single one. You know, we talked about one of them. The Republicans basically said there's a 0 chance of her being elected. Okay, we have Anthony Blinken. He was nominated for the Secretary of State. So, number one, he is a committed internationalist. Huge globalist, internationalist. He's all about, you know, the global world order, etc. That's going to be a really big departure from the kind of policy that we've been seeing under the Trump administration. You know, both with Mattis and Mike Pompeo. Completely different ideology, completely different idea. So, you know, we'll see how that plays out. I think we already know. We've seen what Kerry did. There's really not much good that came out of that because basically globalist and internationalist means that you have to put the world ahead. And since the U.S. is considered the world's, you know, superpower, you know, most successful country, you know, blah, 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 the world's leader, it is expected of the U.S. to put itself last, you know, for the greater good of the world. When the U.S. is not being put first, it doesn't serve the U.S. obviously, but it also doesn't serve the world. So that really alarms me, you know, personally. He views the U.S. agreements with the.
Bye, Mike. Have a good day.
Bye, Mike. Thank you for being a part of this. Is Mike leaving?
Yeah.
I gotta run.
Have a good evening. Shabbat shalom, Mike.
Thank you. Have a good evening. Thank you for joining us. Very cool. Yeah, I'm glad he was able to join us. Okay, so he views U.S. agreements with the world, and more specifically with Europe. It's important to him that the U.S. is very much in line with Europe. He views Europe as our greatest allies, which historically they've been our greatest allies. But I think what Trump has done in the last 4 years is he's really called a challenge on this idea that Europe has been our greatest allies by highlighting all of the different ways that Europe is completely taking advantage of us. And I think one of the questions that we have to ask is, you know, do allies take advantage, like, do your friends take advantage of you? You know, because if they do, then they're not very good friends.
Exactly.
So if Europe is taking advantage of us, and they have, through trade agreements, through NATO, you know, through their dealings with China and Russia, which are our greatest adversaries, you know, for them, you know, to do these things and really treat, I think, the U.S. with, you know, kind of with disrespect for many, many years, I think it'll be really interesting to see, basically. It's going to be really interesting to see the kind of Secretary of State that he's going to be and where the priorities are going to lie. Because I think with Trump, what we've seen is that basically Trump called out Europe and he said, okay, you know, these are our traditional allies, but they have been taking advantage of us for years. And he didn't blame them. He blamed the U.S. for letting them do it because he said, hey, if we could take advantage of them, we would. But American presidents didn't want to take advantage of Europe. And meanwhile, they've allowed Europeans to take advantage of us. So it's going to be really, really interesting to see, you know, what's going to happen because basically, I think Trump's Secretary of State and Trump's ideology has been to expand the map of alliances that we have. And so Trump's Secretary of State spent a lot of time in Africa, Asia, and the Middle East, and less time in Europe. And I think that really, really shows the kind of results that we've been seeing in Africa, Middle East, and Asia.
It totally changed the game.
Exactly. It really changed the game.
For the better.
For the better, absolutely.
Way better.
Absolutely. So it's going to be interesting to see what it's going to be like. Okay, in terms of his experience, he's very experienced. He's been a member of Bill Clinton's White House staff, and he also served under Obama. So the funny thing is he's very much against Brexit. I think I took a screenshot of what he said about that as well, which I thought was kind of funny. Did I take a screenshot? I did. Regarding Brexit, he said, this is not just the dog that cut the car. This is the dog that cut the car, and the car goes into reverse and runs over the dog. It's a total mess. So while Trump completely supported Brexit and even promoted it and urged Britons to vote for Brexit, this is obviously goes completely against that philosophy, and that is very much what Obama did. I mean, Obama actually went to the UK and actually intervened in their own local politics, which is very much one of the possibilities why Brexit passed, because Britons saw an American president who's coming to the UK, this in a very elitist way, basically telling them what they should do and interfering in their own internal affairs. And I think a lot of Brits did not like it, and therefore they voted for Brexit, or one of the reasons why they voted for Brexit.
Yeah.
So I think that was really, really interesting. But again, it's a very strong cabinet pick because most likely he is going to be confirmed. Again, lots of experience under Clinton and Obama, and he's very highly respected. So he's most likely going to be confirmed. Next, we have Janet Yellen. Now, Janet Yellen for the Treasury Secretary. This is actually, I think, one of those appointees that I personally can get behind. She has worked across the aisle. Again, am I happy about this and everything that's happening? I'm not, but if Biden is going to be our president, he's going to choose who is going to represent us. I want the people that he chooses as much to the center as possible and as least left as possible. She's a very centrist person based on what she's done. And she actually has a very interesting resume. She's 74 years old, so she's not young, which is okay. But in those 74 years, she's done a lot and really has managed to accomplish a lot. Among them, she was the first woman to chair the U.S. Federal Reserve. I think that's something that we talked about a lot, actually. Mm-hmm. And she's also going to be the first woman to be Treasury Secretary. So a lot of firsts there. She's a professor emeritus of Berkeley, of the University of California, Berkeley. She's a former assistant professor at Harvard and lecturer at the London School of Economics. She's an expert in labor markets. And actually what's really interesting is that she's highlighted the economic impact of uneven growth at the job market. So this is something that she's highlighted and talked about a lot during the Obama years and under Trump as well. She's talked about this a lot. Obviously, her policies or what she's done did not contribute to the decreased unevenness, I guess, of the job market that she's talking about. Having said that, I don't know how much she can actually interject her policies or her ideology into what's happening. A lot of that has to do with what Obama was doing and his White House in general. So she didn't have that much say, but that's definitely something that she's talked about a lot. And she's also the first central bank chief not to be reappointed and serve 2 terms since the Carter administration. So I thought that is really, really interesting because a lot of people were very surprised, and I don't know if you guys remember, but Trump got a lot of criticisms for not reappointing her when he got back in office, when he got into office. So that got a lot of noise. People were very upset about it, including a lot of Republicans that really support her because, again, I think in that position, there's not much that you could do. And for the most part, she did a good job, keeping interest rates low, lowering them. She didn't lower them as much as Trump wanted to get the economy going even faster. He thought she was a political hack. Even though when he didn't let her, when he did not reappoint her, he did say that he respects her tremendously. He has no animosity towards her, no criticisms either, except that he wishes she went in his direction and not in her own. So, tossing it.
Toss that paper.
All right. Drink.
Yes.
Cheers, you guys.
Cheers.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. I love it because Justin's saying Trump could have appointed Jesus Christ or God, and people would have complained. I mean, there's really literally nothing that Trump could have done to get support from anyone. Basically, I feel like so you're absolutely right.
From the left.
From the left, yeah.
No.
Well, from the left, from the
And
establishment
the right,
media.
yeah.
And at the beginning, even from the right. I mean, if you guys remember the Never Trumpers, I mean, this was huge. Do you guys remember? I mean, all of the polls and everything that showed that, even Republicans were not supporting Trump in high enough numbers. And now, now Trump literally is the most loved, supported, I think, president and leader of the Republican Party since ever, literally since ever. Even Ronald Reagan did not enjoy the kind of support that Donald Trump enjoys. And I think that really says a lot. And the fact that Trump got more votes than any other president in history also says a lot. Any other sitting president in history also said a lot. And also, I mean, he increased his actual vote totals since 2016. So it's very, very impressive. And if you think about it again, I honestly don't think that he lost because people don't support his policies. I think he just lost because of not being presidential enough. And I think that's actually a really big shame because ultimately people care about the superficiality of things, of the way people appear.
Yeah.
He doesn't appear presidential. He doesn't act presidential. But they don't care about the actual substance of what is being done to help people on the local level.
Yeah. Very superficial.
So that was, it's a shame.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Alejandro Mayorkas, he's the Secretary of Homeland Security. This is kind of exciting. So he's a Cuban-American lawyer. I think he actually has Jewish roots. Which is very interesting. I think I think his grandparents escaped actually the Holocaust. So that's really interesting, I think. And he served under Obama as Deputy Secretary of Homeland Security for nearly 3 years. And he's a former Obama Director of U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services. So think about it. He's the former Obama Director of U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services. We all know how the Obama administration felt when it comes to illegal and legal immigration and everything. So we are expected to see a lot of fights when it comes to, I think, illegal immigration. I think when it comes to DACA, illegal immigrants, undocumented immigrants, we're going to see a lot of really, I think, head bumps between conservatives and the Biden administration with this pick. Having said that, most likely he's going to be confirmed still. And he would be the first Latino and immigrant to lead this department. So again, another history. But all of these things, first this, first that, I don't actually care, to be honest with you. I don't think it, I say this because I want you guys to know, but I don't think it really matters, that so-and-so is the first woman, so-and-so is the first Latino. It matters in the sense that, for the first, for Latino people to see, okay, I can, this is a position that I can achieve. I can achieve these things. It really matters to have representation of all communities, especially minority communities.
Yes.
Does it matter the first or I don't know. I don't really think it is. Ultimately, I just care about people having the correct experience, right? The right experience to do the job. And I don't care.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want anyone to, I don't want anyone to have a leg up just because of their background. I want everyone to be equally determined for each position. And I think, in today's world, basically, being able to say, I'm the first to do this, I'm the first to do that, I'm the first to appoint this guy or that woman. And I think that really plays a lot. And I think that really matters for a lot of people. And I think as a result, we don't always get the best people to lead us. Case in point, Barack Obama, first African-American, terrible president. So people really like him on an individual basis. And that really goes to show you too, because if you think about it, in 2012 when Obama ran for re-election, the majority of the country actually did not support his policies. They really, really didn't, but they really liked him as a person. And so people are willing to vote against their own best interest just because they like someone. And as we saw, in the last election, people are willing to vote against their own self-interest just because they don't like someone. So people didn't like Trump, but they supported his policies. They loved Obama, but did not support his policies. And again, Obama got reelected. Unfortunately, Trump, not so much.
Good night, Ed. Shabbat shalom, Ed.
Shabbat shalom, Ed. Have a good night. Thank you for joining us. We're so glad.
We will see you in the Zoom.
Yes, we'll see you in the Zoom. I love it. All right. Let's see. Linda Thomas Greenfield. That's a really interesting one because she is nominated to be a U.S. ambassador to the UN. She's the former Assistant Secretary of State for African Affairs under Obama and Trump. So I thought this was really, really interesting. Former Assistant Secretary of State for African Affairs under both Obama and Trump. So Trump actually let her continue in her position under him for a while. She's also the U.S. ambassador to Liberia under George W. Bush and Obama. So she really shows that she can work across the aisle. She's worked with Bush, then she worked with Obama, then she worked with Trump. She has a lot of experience. This is definitely someone that I am not necessarily a huge fan of her policies per se. I think she's much more to the left that I would like her to be. And I think her Middle East policy is not necessarily going to be disastrous. It's not going to be as bad as what we saw with other appointees under the Obama administration, but it's going to be pretty. We're going back to establishment, basically. I think what we're going to see with her is the same kind of representation of the U.S. and the UN that we saw under Bush, under Clinton, under Bush, the father, and under Obama. Because I think Trump really shook things up at the UN and really pushed for a lot of changes, infrastructure changes within the huge establishment of the UN. And I think with this nomination, we're probably not going to see those changes happen, and things are just going to continue going as they did. Having said that, again, this is one of those nominations that I actually can get behind. Not because I love her, not because I think she's great or whatever. It's just compared to everything that's out there, this is a person that has worked with both conservatives and liberals, and actually was nominated first by conservatives to a really prominent position. So this is definitely someone I could get behind. She's shown that she can work across the aisle and is not an ideologue, which I think is extremely important. So, yeah.
All right, toss that paper.
Tossing that paper. So, okay, basically, I think we're not going to talk about too many more, but let's just talk about, okay, John Kerry. Probably no need to talk about him, right? Everyone knows John Kerry.
We all know John Kerry.
Background history. We already talked about him. 2013 to 2017, he was the Secretary of State, and a total failure. I mean, literally a total failure. So I can't think of anything that he did that was successful. People will point to the fact that he signed us up to the Paris climate agreement. He was a really strong proponent of that, really pushed it. I guess that could be considered a success, but it's not really a success when everyone is doing it, right?
Yeah.
Like if everyone is turning right because there's a sign that says right turn only, you're not being special when you're making that right turn. So if everyone is signing up to the Paris climate agreement, you're not successful if you just tag along with the rest of the world. As a matter of fact, you're a complete failure because as the world's superpower, you should have made sure that China and India and African countries and countries all around the world have equal standards to those of the U.S. And that countries like China and India, who are the world's worst polluters, don't get
a little stuck there.
Don't get a pass. And so the fact that he didn't stand up for the U.S. interests, actually, that I think would just show another sign of failure. So again, I guess we're back to zero. Zero accomplishments. All failure.
I like what Ting said.
it makes us look cheap, or we are just bimbos. Dang, you're absolutely. I think we're just bimbos. To be honest with you, I think we're bimbos. The U.S.
Well, not us. No.
No, yeah, well, yeah. The U.S. basically, spends money like there's no tomorrow, right? We print money, we use money, whatever. We spend money like there's no tomorrow to solve the world's problems.
Yeah.
Literally, we just throw money anywhere and everywhere to solve the world's problems, and of course, fight for American supremacy and the benefit to America.
Oh yeah.
But I think it really shows how stupid we are, and I think that's something that Trump used to say before, because he said, "Hey, thank you."
Yeah.
He said, "Hey, I know all of these world leaders." Right when he was running, I don't know if you guys remember, during the actual. During the confirmation process, the nomination, the Republican primary, he said, all of these countries are laughing at us.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, I get calls from the leaders of all these Arab countries, and they're saying, you guys are nuts.
Yeah.
You guys are crazy.
Yeah.
Because of everything that's happening. And so I think that's basically what it is.
Yeah. That's for sure.
Let's see, Christopher Gungelbrod. Climate change is an excuse so they can never get anything done. If you blame everything on something that will never be solved, you can always run on the same ideas that people blindly follow. That's a really great point.
Excellent point, Christopher.
Really great point. Hi, Rosie C. Thank you for joining us. That is awesome. And Obama said Latino has voted for Trump just because of their religious beliefs and ignored his racism and view on gay marriage. Little does he know, Trump supports gay marriage 100%. Exactly. Actually, Trump does support gay marriage 100%. Spoke about it before he got into office, after he got into office, promised that is the law of the land. You're absolutely right. And I think saying that Latino voters voted for Trump just because of their religion is very misleading, considering the fact that Trump actually increased his vote share among Latinos.
Yeah.
We talked about that a lot. This crazy racist, Hispanicophobe president actually increased his vote totals among Latinos and Hispanics. And it has nothing to do with their religion. Because people that voted for Trump because of their religion are the same people that voted for Trump back in 2016. Obviously, he's increased his standing among the Latino voters, and statistically speaking, each passing year, America is becoming less and less religious, and that also includes the Hispanic and Latino community. So, if anything, there's actually less religious Hispanics today, and more people who just really were helped by what Trump has done and through his policies, and wanted to show their appreciation by supporting him. That's all it is. Extremely misleading.
Hi, Yoga.
Selma Yoga. Hi. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much.
I just want to take a moment right now and just thank you for everybody who is joining us, everybody who's giving us a thumbs up for the video. It does make a big difference.
Yes, definitely.
The thumbs up, because then more people will see that we've gone live. So really, really appreciate that, and just all of your interaction and support really means a lot. Thank you guys.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So basically, the way it works is YouTube is supposed to, when you go live, YouTube is supposed to let your subscribers know, that you're live, and then if a lot of people watch, interact, whatever, then it also promotes it more. Yeah. What we're getting from a lot of our subscribers is that they only get the notification at least an hour after we've already gone live. So by the time they get the notification, it's already been 1.5 hours.
Yeah, and then they're notified after we've already been live for an hour. So.
Yeah. But again, if you guys give us a thumbs up, that really does help our channel so much, because it, even though our subscribers might not get the notification, it actually really helps push it forward. So
yeah. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Sorry for interrupting.
No, absolutely.
We have a lot to cover.
Yes. Well, okay. So we have Avril Haines. Avril, she's nominated to be the Director of National Intelligence. Ooh, again, sorry. it's so hard to stay away from Zane. I'm constantly trying to like get closer, but with these dresses, we get caught, so you have to be really careful.
They what is snag?
What are they called? Yeah, they snag. I guess?
Yeah, I don't know. We get stuck to each other.
So she's nominated to be the Director of National Intelligence. This is really interesting too because, again, she's the previous Deputy Director of the Central Intelligence Agencies. She's the first woman to hold that position. And between 2007 and 2008...
Thank you, Justin and Christopher.
Sequence stress. Thank you. Yes.
We should know that.
We should. It's just... You know how sometimes the word is like literally at the tip of your tongue, but you just can't think of it?
Like spoon.
Like spoon. I'm really famous for not remembering how to say spoon.
You'll know it in different languages.
Yeah, I'll know
but in English, you're like, what's a word?
It just, when you speak multiple languages, sometimes when you get tired, everything just gets so mumbled and jumbled. Yeah. And like, you know, like one time I was so tired and I needed a spoon and I was like, can I get that, like, you know, you eat with it? What is it called? Yeah, it just totally happens all the time when I'm tired.
Or when you're tired, you start talking to me in a different language and I'm
like,
yeah,
that happens
sometimes. You're saying.
So, between 2007 and 2008, she was the Deputy Chief Counsel for Senate Democrats, which means that she worked really closely with Biden during that year, and probably even before that, because she was put in that position. So Biden knows her extremely well. She's definitely a Biden person. And again, I see her probably getting nominated and confirmed, most likely. And I'm guessing most of Biden's picks are going to be confirmed. Just about most of them. There might be like one or two that won't, but she, I think, will.
Justin, I love that.
Oh, I love that. Justin's husband talks to him in Japanese. And he's like,
they're like,
I don't know.
Justin, I relate to you.
Well, the funniest thing is my mom. So she loves Zane. And, you know, a lot of times they'll hang out together without me. And I love it. I think it's great. They have a great relationship. But a lot of times... my mom, when we hang out, will start talking to Zane in Russian. And she doesn't understand why Zane is not responding back. And again, my mom has the same, when she gets tired, she just automatically switches to Russian.
Yeah.
So it's really, really funny because she'll have like a full-on conversation and then you know, she doesn't understand why Zane is not responding. And Zane is thinking she's talking to me.
Yeah.
You know, so I love it. Hi, Julie D. Hi, so glad you were able to join us.
Yeah, glad you're enjoying the group.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Love it.
I love that. Sama Yoga says, I want to hear your other language. Well, there's a couple. I mean, there's Hebrew, Russian, and French, and I'm also learning Spanish now, which I'm loving. Really, really loving. I was actually never into Spanish. It didn't sound pretty in my ear. I really loved French. And it's crazy because then I went to Mexico and I completely fell in love with Spanish. So I don't know what I was thinking or drinking where I thought Spanish was not a beautiful language because it is so beautiful, so romantic. I absolutely love it. And I love studying it now. So yeah, really cool. Let's see. She will also, Avril Haines will be the first female Deputy National Security Advisor. If she's confirmed, she'll be the first woman again, Director of the National Intelligence Committee. So she is a first woman of many, many things. She's experienced a lot of firsts, which is very cool for her. Yeah. And I think she will get confirmed. I personally am not a fan of this pick at all. I think our views could not be any different in just about most really most situations.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that I kind of approve is I think she has a more I want to say left of center approach to specifically Israel, and as you guys know, that is a hot topic for me. So at least I know it's not going to be like not that Ilhan Omar would have been nominated, but someone with views of like Ilhan Omar. At least I know it's not going to be that when it comes to Israel. So that gives me some comfort knowing that. So
toss it.
Okay, the National Security Advisor is Jake Sullivan, and He was the national security advisor to Biden when he was VP. So obviously Biden knows him very, very well. I think most people know a lot about Jack Sullivan, so I'm just gonna kind of skip that. He served as deputy chief of staff to Hillary Clinton when she was Secretary of State. So again, lots of establishment. We're getting a lot of the same. Basically, a lot of Obama. That's basically what we're getting. We're getting Obama 2.0.
It's actually somebody wrote, and I can't remember who it was. I'm so sorry, but somebody wrote Obama 3.0.
Obama 3.0. Yeah, I was actually debating whether I should say 2.0 or 3.0. Yeah, Obama 3.0.
Somebody wrote
something like that. Yeah, I love that. And that could work both ways because Obama already had 2 terms, so that's 2.0 now. This one third, or Hillary Clinton was Obama 2.0, Biden is 3.0. But whatever, it's basically just more of the same.
Yeah.
More of the same, more failure.
Yeah. Refilling the swamp.
More decline. Refilling the swamp. I really like that a lot. Yeah.
Well, the term, but not the actual, the act.
And, since 2014, he's been teaching in Yale. And again, I think that also goes to the whole conversation that we had about indoctrination, having these people who are basically political hacks, that are really pushing this, propaganda. And whether you're a professor or, politics, these are the kind of people that are teaching, future generations. And unfortunately, it does sink in.
Oh, yeah.
And as the population is becoming more and more educated, they're actually becoming less and less smart. So they're becoming educated.
More and more indoctrinated.
More and more indoctrinated. Well, less and less smart because it used to be that when you taught at a university, you basically just taught straight up the, political history. You taught history. You taught languages, right? For example, a lot of the Islamic studies in universities, when people want to learn about Islamic religion, tradition, Islamic world, Middle Eastern world, whatever, it used to be where you learned a lot about the language and the culture and the history. Now it's a lot of ideology specifically that is really being pushed by these professors. And obviously, it's getting through. Unfortunately, it's seeping through into their students, and and then we basically have each generation we're having more and more extreme opinions as these people feel more and more free to push their own agenda. Yeah. And at this point now, universities are completely controlled by these extremes that everyone feels completely free to give their opinions as long as you're on the right side of the political aisle.
Exactly.
Of course.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
So okay. Lastly, but not surely, we have Neera Tanden. We talked about her. She was nominated to be the Director of Office Management and Budget. Andrew Brendui served. He actually serves under John Cornyn from Texas. He is the communications director, and basically said there's 0 chance of confirmation for her. So I am beyond excited to see the fight that Republicans are going to have regarding this nomination. And again, I am so hopeful that Republicans are going to be able to have a majority. Ideally, it would be great if Republicans were able to have 52 seats and not 51, because that means that at least one Republican, like Susan Collins or someone else, could potentially abstain and actually vote for the confirmation, and the confirmation would still not move forward. I think that would be great, because if there's one thing that I've learned from following U.S. politics, it's basically that Democrats are actually very united. For all of the divisiveness that we're seeing among Democrats regarding their ideology and progressivism and support for Antifa versus being more centrist, all of these things, the squad versus the the older establishment, the Chuck Schumers. As we're seeing all of that, when it comes to actually voting as a bloc, Democrats are incredibly united. And we saw that when they needed to pass Obamacare. Having said that, unfortunately, Republicans, I think, have more of a spine. And so they are more likely to stand up for what they think is right and less likely to be bought out through different, through different projects that are thrown in just to pass some kind of a legislation. And that's why, Republicans had such a difficult time repealing Obamacare, because there's always, one or two that are going against the party because of their own personal ideology, and they stand for what they believe in. I think it's great. I think that's how it should be. I wish Democrats had the same. But since they don't, I think Republicans really need to have as much of a majority as possible. 52 is even too small, but at least it'll be better than, 51. So,
Realities, enjoy your dinner. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for joining us.
And I really hope 4 more years, like you said. I really hope so.
I really hope so. Absolutely. I really, really do. It's going to be really interesting. As we know, I think it's December 14th when the electors get to cast their vote. And basically, I think once the electors choose, their nominee, which most likely it's going to be Biden, basically that's it. At that point, there's really nothing that can be done. Under ideal circumstances, this is my ideal world, right? Excuse me. Trump is going to go to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is going to rule that the election, too much fraud has happened, and that it's very difficult to determine the winner. And in an ideal world, as much money as it's going to cost, we would have a second election. That would be my ideal world.
Yeah.
And in that ideal world, there would be 2 more debates, maybe 3, where Trump is going to be able to show up the way he did for the second debate. And I think if there was a second election, I think Trump would be a shoo-in. I really do. I think the majority of the people are with Trump. They were just really upset that he wasn't taking responsibility for his handling of Chibi, and they were really upset that of the way that the first debate went.
Yeah.
But I think if there's another election, he would win. That would be ideal. Obviously, it's not going to happen. Basically, if it does go to Supreme Court, either Biden is going to remain the elected president, or they'll overturn it, and then Trump will be president. The problem is whoever becomes president under those circumstances is going to be considered an illegitimate president. Unfortunately for Trump, he was an illegitimate president for the first 4 years of his administration, and the media kind of really supported that narrative. And so you had a large swath of our population that really believed that he's not a legitimate president. Not my president, all of those, whatever. I think with Biden, you're going to see definitely not half the country like we saw with Trump. Right? Like really, like half the country thought he's not a legitimate. I think with Biden, you're going to see more like maybe 30%. Because even Republicans at this point think that even though there was election fraud, Biden is still the elected president. They believe that even though there was a lot of election fraud, it was not enough to turn the election results. I'm among those people who believe it. I really hope I'm wrong. Again, I'm really hoping that there's a lot of evidence out there that they're holding, near to their heart, and they'll show in court. Based on what I'm seeing, based on based on the conferences they're holding, based on their hearings, based on the interviews that they give the media, it just seems like they're just throwing everything with the kitchen sink onto the wall to see what sticks. That's what I'm getting from it. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
We'll
so I don't know. I really don't know. Time will tell. We'll see.
I think the most important thing is that there is voter fraud. It is happening, and we have to bring it to light. And I think no matter what, we should bring this to light.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is why we're doing this.
Yeah.
Okay,
you guys. Well, thank you for joining us on our live. And if you are just joining us, Matthew?
Cindy Powell, #badass, Taylor Jasmine. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And if you guys are just tuning in now, we talked in the beginning that we might be doing a Hanukkah 8-day live Hanukkah party. So we will update you via newsletter. So make sure to sign up for that. We also have
where would you go to sign up?
Our Zoom coming up as well. houseofdemaj.com / stay up to date.
Yes.
So you will know there. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I love what Justin said. I will never accept Biden coming from someone who wrote him in 2016. I mean, that's fascinating, Justin. Yep, I was a Trump derangement syndrome dude back then. Boy, have I woken up. And you know what, Justin? That's what I love about this. I feel like the vast majority of Never Trumpers, Trump derangement syndrome, let's put it this way. The vast majority of Never Trumpers woke up. And a large enough number of Trump derangement syndrome people woke up as well. You among them. And I think that really made a huge difference
Me as
in
well.
the country.
The walk away, yeah.
Justin, thank you,
thank
guys.
you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And Rosie,
love you guys. Looking forward to Hanukkah. And thank you so much for bringing us together.
Oh, thank you, Justin.
Oh, sorry.
Getting stuck again.
Thank you so much again, and thank you for being a part of this. I mean, we're all coming together together. Sorry, I cut you off.
I was just going to say, Rosie, I'm assuming you're saying the link it doesn't work for the newsletter or something. I'm not sure. Try the link. If you go into the live right now and in the description box, we have the actual link for it. So try clicking on there. The newsletter. Yeah, try houseofdemaj.com/stay up to date.
houseofdemaj.com/up to date. That was fun.
All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Shabbat Shalom.
Ooh, thank you, Matthew, so much. Thank you for being a part of this. And that comment means a lot. You all are a beacon of hope for the LGBTQ community. Thank you. Really, thank you.
That actually really means a lot, Matthew. Thank you.
It's really funny. I don't know. I mean, it's a huge compliment. But I think what is a beacon of hope to us specifically was to find out how many people from the LGBTQ community actually support Trump and his policies.
Yeah.
That was a huge beacon of hope for us.
Yeah.
And also when we started this, I mean, we were so scared because we didn't think anyone would want to be a part of this. We didn't think anyone would want to do this, be a part of a part of this.
Yeah.
But we just felt, again, we've talked about this before, so alone, so isolated. Yeah. And we thought, well, someone else has to feel that way too, probably. Yeah. And so when we found out just the amount of people who supported these policies, the amount of people who wanted to be a part of this, that really gave us hope because we were like, okay, the world is not as bad as it seems. It's getting better step by step, and so I'm just so grateful for all of you guys being a part of this. I truly, really am.
Definitely. Thank you guys. And cheers, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, you guys. Next time, Hanukkah.
Okay, you guys. Bye.
Bye. Till next time.